Episode 3943, Give Up What Doesn't Work.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day and welcome to the middle of January. It's official, we're mid-January. Oh no, seriously, I know. Well, don't get all depressed because it is Inspiration Motivation Day. And what you got to know, you got to give up what doesn't work. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Okay, so I want you to go to dreamland here with me for a moment. Imagine this. You're gearing up for the Super Bowl of your life Super Bowl. Every move calculated, every drill intentional, every moment optimized. Would you spend time doing things that don't work? Things that have brought you zero results? Well, of course not. You double down on what delivers every single time. So why not give up what doesn't work? You know, when you think about it, the whole thing of the everyday game of life and business, why do we cling so stubbornly to habits, strategies, or mindsets that have proven ineffective? Why do we hang on to something that does not work? Well, do you really want me to be honest with you? Like, seriously. Because if not, just stop now. Just turn me off. That's okay. I won't take it personally because you don't want reality, and that's all right. But I want to give you that reality. The honest truth is we get comfortable. And comfort dulls our edge and convinces us to keep doing what we've always done because it doesn't ask us to think harder or stretch further. We just want to hang out with what we know because it doesn't make us think. And we're already tired of thinking. We're already tired of doing new things and them not working. And you're like, why do I keep trying new things? It just keeps giving me the same results. So I'm going to go back to what I know, which I really don't like, but I'm going to do it anyway because, well, it's easy. And I don't want to do anything else. You see, comfort is the enemy of growth. Zig Ziglar said it best. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. Say that fast 3 times and it's going to be, I think I can, I think I can. I thought I could, I didn't. That's my version of Zig Ziglar and that. Holding on to what doesn't work is a surefire way to stay stuck in a loop of frustration, limited results, and missed opportunities. You want something different, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to make some different decisions. So you got the Super Bowl coming around. I know maybe I'm thinking too far in advance, but we got to be prepared. I think there's 8 teams left? That's exciting. And it's a Super Bowl like none other. You got the Patriots moving on and they haven't won a postseason playoff game for 7 years, 2019, I think it is. Seriously? Now, I'm not necessarily a Patriots fan. I'm just telling you like it is. So what if you approached your life like training for that Super Bowl? Like the Patriots are, like the Bears are. All of them, they're still in play, right? Ruthlessly shedding what weighs you down. What if you gave up tactics, beliefs, or routines that have never pushed you towards your goals? What do you think might happen? Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Getting better starts by letting go. You got to let go of what doesn't work. You got to give up what doesn't work. And this isn't about denying how hard change is. Far from that. Change is hard, right? Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. There is a time for everything. There's a time to hold on. There's a time to let go. Recognizing the season when something no longer serves you is crucial to stepping into something greater. One step at a time leads to miles of greatness. It doesn't say that you have to keep doing everything you're doing. One step at a time means likely you're probably changing where you are, the paths that you're following. At times you'll be crawling up a mountain, or you may be sliding down a valley. Give up what doesn't work. Because when you do that, it creates space. Space for fresh ideas, space for new energy, and space for different results. If you're going to make it to the Super Bowl of your life, I'm not talking about football, I'm talking about your life, your Super Bowl, what would that look like? Because if you want to go there, you've got to invite yourself and challenge yourself in ways you've never entertained before. If you want to take your business from making, let's say, $500,000 to making $1.5 million, do you think you're going to do it doing the same thing over and over again? Well, ask Mark Cuban on Shark Tank or any of the others, Mr. Wonderful or all of those. And by the way, they are not a sponsor of this episode. Maybe they should be. But they would prove us all wrong that you can't keep doing what's not working. You got to do something different. And why do you think businesses and entrepreneurs and dreamers that have become doers show up on Shark Tank? Because they want something different than what they already have. Dream is just the bubble to get started. But when it goes up high and you pop it, that's when everything begins. That's when reality sets in. And yes, it's going to demand grit and a lot of discomfort, most likely. But that's exactly where growth lives. You may feel vulnerable with each change. I get it. But vulnerability is the testing ground for resilience. And every time you intentionally shed the ineffective, you arm yourself with clarity and courage to face whatever's next. Do you know how many different times I've tried things here on the podcast? Maybe you don't recognize it, but I do. There are times that I will record an episode and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was the worst one ever. And then I get responses and they're like, Christiane, I wish you would have done this more. I'm like, what? A lot of it is not overthinking and doing what you know comes next. But in order to do that, you have to have an open mind, an open heart. And you've got to be ready to go outside of your daggum box that you've put yourself in. So ask yourself, what parts of your approach, your mindset, or your daily routine are just dead weight? Like what's adding 30 pounds to your day that you don't need to carry? What is that? Maybe it's you have an alarm, or maybe it's the opposite. You need an alarm. Okay, right? It could go either direction. What have you been clutching out of habit or fear? What can you not let go of because you're like, if I do, I don't know if I can ever come back. You know, I had to make a hard decision a year ago and we stepped away from a couple of our TV stations that we were on. And it broke my heart, honestly. We were doing very well in that arena, but I just knew that it was not my season to be there at that time. We'd already done a year plus of time. And I thought, you know what? I have to backtrack for just a minute and say goodbye. But in my mind, I was like, but I really don't want to let go. And so for the longest time, I was like, oh, I'll just keep holding on. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. And then finally I had to pull the cord and say, nope, it's time. And let me tell you, it was the best decision I made. For me, the season I was in, the season my family was in, where I was, what was going to happen, which I didn't know exactly, but it was just this intuitiveness within me. And honestly, I believe it was God telling me, Christiane, pay attention to this. This isn't just by chance. I was clutching it out of habit and fear, honestly. It's time to cut loose. Prepare for your personal Super Bowl by giving up what doesn't work. And you'll free yourself to do more, be more, and win more. Not for the sake of putting you on a mountaintop. Not for the sake of you saying, look at me, I've arrived. No, it's about being who you are now and becoming who God wants you to be. I'm traveling right now, and I'm deeper in the South, and I'm here celebrating my good friend and mentor, Dan Miller, who passed 2 years ago. He's being honored in the Podcast Hall of Fame, 48 Days to the Life and Work You Love. If you haven't read his book, go read it. He's a New York Times bestselling author. His wife is incredible. His children are magnificent. He was a living legacy and then also left a legacy. But one thing he taught me about doing something new and different was he always looked at it as, Christiane, it's an experiment. I don't tie my feelings to it. I don't tie my finances to it. I don't tie my heart to it. It's an experiment. And so I try it for a period of time. I set that time and I go back and evaluate it. And if it doesn't work, I let it go. If it does, I find a way to include it or what else to let go in order to include it. Give up what doesn't work. That was Dan's best way of saying, you know what, I'm not going to get attached to everything. It's an experiment. Life is an experiment, and sometimes you find what works and other times you don't. But go out and do it with excellence regardless, and then just be ready to say, you know what, it didn't work and that's okay. Or you know what, it worked. This is great. We all can take a chapter out of Dan's book. What do you need to look at your life and the experiment and where it fits in? Maybe it's within your career. Maybe it's at home in the privacy of your own four walls. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe you're trying to do something different that you really never thought of. Maybe you want to go into this online business thing and you're like, I have no idea where to start. You want to be an author? Hey, contact me. It's hard. Life is not easy. It never will be. But I'm here to remind you today, put a smile on your face because you got this, because God's got you. And that means you get to create your now. You get to see what you're doing, look at it as an experiment, hold on to what works and let go of what doesn't. So it's time to choose what you keep and what you leave behind. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. This episode is dedicated to my friend, my mentor, my coach, Dan Miller. We love you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.